One of the best things about owning a Tesla for us is being able to charge at home. This wall connector allows us to add 45 miles of range for every hour of charging. And since our Tesla has a maximum range of 300 miles on a full charge, we never have to worry about charging during the day as we're running our errands. We actually had no idea until we got our Tesla just how much time we were spending, even planning that we were doing around getting gas a couple times every week just so we can get around town. When we take a road trip, however, we rely upon Tesla's version of a gas station called the Supercharger. Superchargers are about 20 times as powerful as this, and they can add enough range to get you to your next stop in about the time it takes you to go to the bathroom and grab a snack. It's even more convenient than pumping gas. Never mind the fact that you don't have to worry about getting gas on your hands or the bottom of your shoes or the side of your car. With supercharging a Tesla, you just pull into an open stall, push a button on the connector at the end of the cable, insert into your charge port, and you're charging. There isn't a credit card reader anywhere. You don't have to punch in a code. All billing is handled automatically through the car. Plus, you don't have to stay at your car for safety like you do when pumping gas. You just plug in to start your charging, go do whatever you want to do, unplug when you're done, and drive away. This is a brand new supercharger in Goldsboro, North Carolina. It just opened last week, so I think it's still working out some of the kinks. The car says it's a V3 that's capable of 250 kilowatts. The max I got out of this was about 135 kilowatts, but it's not unusual at all for them to need a couple weeks to get everything optimized for all of the stalls. But the big news isn't this new installation that opened last week. It's the announcement that Tesla made this week showing all of their plans for the superchargers that are going to be popping up around the world in first and second quarter of 2021. And it is a lot of them, including 8 new installations in North Carolina alone. Tesla didn't exactly make a big announcement about their new superchargers. Instead, they simply updated the map on their website with a bunch of gray pins popping up in each new location. The red pins are the existing superchargers, and it's hard not to notice that a lot of areas already saturated with charging are getting even more locations. Most of these areas have concentrations of Tesla owners who don't have the option of charging at home. They might live in an apartment or condo without EV charging or enough EV charging for all the people living there. Stopping by a neighborhood supercharger every few days while you grab a coffee isn't really a bad alternative, as long as the supercharger isn't overwhelmed with other Tesla owners doing the same thing. That's what adding superchargers in these areas is trying to alleviate. It still seems crazy when you see 2 new superchargers going in within blocks of each other, like these 2 spots in Miami. At first blush, you might think it would just make more sense to double the size of one or the other location, but that might not be an option given the existing electrical infrastructure or available parking. That gets to Tesla's biggest challenge in expanding the supercharging network. They depend entirely on partnering with private property owners to host their installations. Tesla owns only a small fraction of the land under their superchargers, and it makes sense why. It would be darn near impossible to find land for sale in anywhere near the numbers and locations Tesla needs to place charging. This is why the 8 new superchargers planned in North Carolina, for example, aren't necessarily going into places of current need, like Boone in our western mountains or Morehead City on our coast. I think in part it has to do with how Tesla partners with property owners to host superchargers. You can see this is actually at a gas station. It's at a Sheetz. In fact, Sheetz has been a huge partner with Tesla recently. It's not surprising since they started installing EV chargers at Sheetz way back in 2013. I think putting superchargers at gas stations like this is fantastic. You already have access to a bathroom. You have access to food, to drink. You're not in the middle of a shut down mall parking lot in the dark by yourself where you might not feel that safe, because this is going to be crawling with people 24/7, 365. And don't ignore the great advertising this is for Tesla. You got Tesla, 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 whether or not there are cars parked here. You'll have people driving up, pulling in, plugging in, and then unplugging and driving away. all within view of people pumping gas right over there. I had actually already shot all of the in-car footage for this video when the driver of this truck came up to me to ask me about my Tesla and what charging was like. He was a regular at the Sheetz and noticed the superchargers going in, and he said completely unsolicited that seeing the Tesla logo everywhere reminded him of his dream to own one someday. As I was sitting there, dozens of cars drove by, and not a small number of them slowed down and stopped to look at the superchargers. Installations like this one aren't just convenient for Tesla owners, they are absolutely a great way to increase brand awareness wherever they pop up. But whether they're popping up at a gas station or some other form of private property, I think where you see superchargers is still heavily influenced by where private property owners want to put them. Believe it or not, Tesla isn't always the best way to find out about new superchargers. A crowdsourced site called Supercharger.info is a great place to see not only where new superchargers are being installed, but you can also see if Tesla has gotten a local construction permit or if it's already actively under construction. The details listed for the sites is often more accurate than that shown on Tesla's website. That Goldsboro site is properly listed as 8 stalls at 250 kilowatts on Supercharge.info, even though when you go to the listing at Tesla, it incorrectly states that the installation is 150 kilowatt maximum charge rate. You can also see exactly where the sites are located on Google Maps, and best of all, you can even go straight to the threads on Tesla forums where local owners are leaving reports on the status of construction. Note that this is not a site intended for you to use to plan a future trip or anything like that. It's mainly for recreation, for people who find it exciting to see the supercharging network grow, and since Supercharge.info already has that data, they can show you that growth in a number of charts. From what we're already seeing in the past week, I imagine we're going to see those charts curve sharply upwards in 2021, something Tesla owners around the globe have been waiting to happen. Tesla's expansion of the supercharger network seemed to slow down there as they were transitioning from the V2 to the V3 superchargers. I think that was related to their ability to manufacture the hardware, so it's good to see that they seem to have gotten over that hump. That said, when we go on road trips, we're pretty much sticking to the distance that we can get with the range we have when we leave this garage, which is an honest 285 miles or so. That covers a lot of the places that we're gonna go for a short trip. We can get to the mountains, we can get to the beach, we can go to places like Colonial Williamsburg, no problem without having to worry about stopping for a charge. We do stop at Tesla superchargers nonetheless as a matter of convenience. Since we're going to stop to use the restroom and stretch our legs anyway, we just plan those stops around hitting a supercharger, topping off so that when we get to our destination, we have a decent amount of range left. Many superchargers are located near some great restaurants that we love to stop by, like the Mad Boar in Wallace, North Carolina, where you can get yummy pork ribs, or Cahill's in South Hill, Virginia, where you can get an amazing hot spinach salad with bacon and scallops. Road tripping on a supercharger network might take a little bit more pre-planning than road tripping with a gas-powered car so that you time your stops where supercharging is available. But now that Tesla is back to rapidly expanding that network, your options and even your opportunities are just going to get better and better. If you're interested in getting a Tesla of your very own, be sure to use my Tesla Owners referral link when you do. You'll get free supercharging. Full details on a Tesla Owners referral program can be found at the link itself. Be sure to subscribe for more Tesla news. I really appreciate you watching The Tech of Tech, and I hope to see you next time.